Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the March edition of Coffee with the Principal. I am your host, Matt Carafa. I am joined once again by my co-host, Mr. Adam Rickert. Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. How about yourself?
I'm doing okay. How things been going since the last time we talked?
Really well. You know, it's a busy time of year, but having a good time with it. Good
Always is. Springtime's coming. Spring sports, all those kind of things. Something to look forward to. Huh?
Thank goodness. Thank goodness.
Thank goodness. And the basketball team ended on a good note also.
That was, you know what? I have covered high school basketball for about 5 years. I've been to all sorts of games, and that was by far the loudest game I've ever been to.
Very nice. It was an awesome
atmosphere.
Game. Big win over Clintondale for our team. So once again, we're here for Coffee with the Principal. Today we're going to talk about news in and around the Hive here at Memphis Junior Senior High School. We'll have a few special guests we'll talk to today, and we'll also get into some audience participation here in a little bit. So let's get started here on Coffee with the Principal. So what's new around the Hive? First up, we have some conferences that have been rescheduled from February. They have been moved to March 18th, that's next Wednesday, from 5 to 7:30 p.m. Parent-teacher conferences, come on in and talk to your student's teacher about their progress and a whole lot more. That's next Wednesday, March 18th.
Yeah, that was due to all those snow days. And
Yes, yeah. We had
snow days are fun, but I'm hoping we're about done with those right now. I'm sick of the snow.
Same here.
We want to say congratulations to our 7th and 8th grade bands, and as well as our high school band. They all went to the MSBOA Festival band events, and all of them, 7th grade, 8th grade, and high school, all achieved a superior rating of 1. That's the highest rating you can get in band. So great job from Mr. Esch and all the band students.
Yes, it was awesome. Awesome year. Once again, the Mighty Memphis Band. Are you ready for spring break? That's the question we're hearing around here every day as we get closer and closer. The warmer weather is on the way, and Friday, March 27th will be our last day of school before spring break begins, which runs from March 30th through April 3rd. Classes will then resume back here in Memphis on Monday, April 6th. So that's spring break. We can't wait for the warm weather opening day for the Tigers.
Oh, yeah.
Big event. You're going to be down there, Mr. Rick?
I have never been to Tigers opening day.
Never? Wow.
I got to work here probably. So.
We're off. We're on spring break.
We're on spring break.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll have to make it work.
If you're coming in, then you're doing a great job. I really appreciate it. You coming on your days off.
Yeah.
That shows dedication.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, you know, I'm planning. Although I think get my wisdom tooth out.
That day?
Teeth out. It'll be a fun opening day. Another team we wanted to congratulate at Memphis was our cheerleading team. They finished on Saturday, February 29th. They finished 5th at regionals in Mason, so they scored in place higher than any other Memphis team ever has. And they're also 2-time defending league champions. And we honored a lot of those cheerleaders, especially the seniors. Had a lot of really great seniors on that cheer team. We honored them at the basketball game at halftime on Friday, and we really thank them for all they've contributed over the years.
Yeah, cheer did an amazing job this year. We got basketball, cheer, band, a lot of things going on, especially here at Memphis. But does Memphis have talent? That's another question I keep hearing. I keep hearing two questions. I mentioned earlier, when is spring break, and does Memphis have talent? And the answer you're going to find out this Friday, March 13th at 7 p.m. right here in our cafeteria for the Memphis Talent Show. All kind of acts we have. We have a couple of live performances by some Memphis alum, and also a very special appearance by a local legendary rock band, Corporal Punishment. So it's going to be exciting to see that, I think, Mr. Rickert, this Friday.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
The talent show. So come on in. I believe it is $4 at the door, $3 with your student ID. So make sure you bring your ID if you're coming as a student.
Memphis Junior Senior High School Parent Club is back on March 10th. The Memphis Parent Club will meet at 4 p.m. in the junior high school. We would like to see as many parents there that can make it. You're all welcome, and we all would like to hear your support, any input that you have. Yeah,
it's been a while since we've had an official parent club meeting, but they will start coming back monthly here in Memphis, so that should be a big deal. And finally, in the news, congratulations to our bowlers, Tara Peters and Kate Bourne. On February 22nd, they finished first and second place, respectively, at our Chesterfield bowling tournament. Those girls went on to the state tournament as well and performed awesome, as well did all of our bowling team. Another, again, exciting thing going on here at the Hive. All of our sports, all of our academics, all the fun things going on here. A lot of crazy stuff going on, but it's fun.
Definitely, our wrestlers did a great job too. There were 4 of them made it to states at Ford Field last week, and quite a few of them won their individual districts. We had Josh Erdman, Cody Thomas, Todd Masters, Logan Strickland, Jake Christie, Dakota Strickland, Eddie, and Wesley Walsh and Nathan Peters. They all won their individual districts, so that is just fantastic to see that much success. And it was our 5th consecutive district championship for Memphis Wrestling.
That is impressive.
5 in a
Very
row.
impressive. Coach Pringle really has that program moving in the right direction.
Definitely, definitely.
Also this month, a couple of things we can talk about. SAT prep days on March 12th from 3 to 4 p.m. in our grad room, and March 19th from 3 to 4 p.m. in our grad room. That's with Miss Nowinski. That is SAT prep for any juniors or seniors that may be retaking the SATs. Very important times to get in there and study and try to practice for that exam. It's coming up in April.
Huge, huge, especially if you want to get into the college that you want to go to. They look at those scores a lot. So that's something that you want to get to bed on time the night before, eat a good breakfast, make sure you're studying all your material that you think you might need to know, all good ideas, and it can really help you out in the future.
Another news from the Hive, the 4th quarter is almost here. The last day of our 3rd quarter is Friday, March 27th. You got to make sure you finish the quarter strong. Students, please check your schedules so you know which class changes you may have when you come back from spring break. But we're getting into the last quarter of the school year. The school year is almost over, Mr. Rick. It's kind of a scary thing to think about.
I don't know if it's so scary. I'm a bit excited. Although I'm kind of upset because I'm not going to see my kids for 2 months.
That's true.
Some good times here. We get a lot of laughs. And I learn things every day I'm here. So
I guess it's bittersweet then.
yeah.
Okay. And to wrap up the news here at the Hive, the next coffee with the principal for April will take place on Wednesday, April 15th at 5 p.m. right here in the Memphis Junior Senior High School Media Center. We invite everybody to come on out, have some coffee, have some donuts. It'll be a mid-evening event there, 5 p.m. So I might have something a little different than donuts for you. So come on out and see a lot of the stars of our newsletter and hear some relevant information about Memphis Junior Senior High School. And that is all for the news here at the Hive.
Our first guest is our newest junior high school special ed teacher, Andrew Rosales.
Mr. Rosales, welcome to Coffee with the Principal, sir. How are you today?
Thank you for having me. I'm well, thank you.
Mr. Rosales, how long have you been here at Memphis Junior Senior High School?
I have been here 4 months.
4 months.
4 months.
So brand new to the school.
Brand new.
How are you settling in? How are
I
things
think
going
I'm
so far?
selling quite well.
Settling quite well.
Yeah.
Where's your classroom located? What's the room number? Where's it at? Tell me where we can
Room
find it.
106.
Okay.
Junior high and right across the hall from Mrs. Sanborn.
Okay, so junior high and across from Mrs. Sanborn, room 106. If anyone wants to find you, they can find you there.
Yep.
Mr. Rosales, got a couple questions for you as a new staff member. Okay. So are you prepared to answer a few of those for us right now?
Yeah.
Awesome. Mr. Rosales, March is reading month.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is. Very important.
Tell me about your favorite book.
My favorite book is probably Harry Potter, the first book.
First book.
The first one. Yeah.
What's so special about that one?
Just sets up Harry Potter for the 7 other books, and
7. So it's 8 books total.
there's 8 books, I believe.
It's kind of like a pretty big series there.
Yeah.
7 books, 8 movies.
7 books, 8 movies.
movies.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mr. Rickards,
I'm a huge Harry Potter fan too. That's probably what I would have said for my favorite book.
Really?
Although I think the 6th one was my favorite Harry Potter book. I don't know why. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Well, I know, again, reading is a very important thing to all of us here in Memphis, and it's just, when you see that even our teachers read a lot, I think that's a big thing we can do, a big influence we can have on our students, telling them what we read, what we like, right?
Yes.
Mr. Rosales, your favorite food. Tell me about your favorite food.
My favorite food is probably mastacholi.
Mastacholi. Tell me why. That's the banquet wedding staple.
It's
Why?
just-
Why is that the thing for you?
Can't be screwed up really, and tastes good every time, fills you up.
Well, that's true. That is true. Who makes the best mastacholi, do you think?
Probably my mom.
Your mom. That's what I was going to say. I bet your mom or your
My mom.
grandmother, one of the
Yeah.
two. Mr. Rosales, tell me, now that you've been here for 4 months, it has been a while, what's your favorite thing about Memphis so far?
Oh, just the small community.
Okay.
Just the small, everybody knows everybody, and you can influence everybody.
You can influence everybody. That could be a good thing and a bad thing.
Yeah.
And let me tell me about summer plans for, excuse me, spring break plans you have. Spring break's coming up, a
break
couple of
plans.
weeks.
Probably finishing a couple of my grad courses.
Okay, grad courses. You're attending what school right now?
Eastern Michigan.
Eastern Michigan. Eagles, right?
Eagles.
Mr. Rickert, familiar with the Eagles?
I'm familiar with them, yes.
Not a big fan.
I'm indifferent. Indifferent. Those are kind of. I'm a Michigan State guy. So.
That's right. Okay, but both are green and white.
Both
Yes,
are green and
yes,
white.
and Eastern is a fantastic education school.
I've heard that as well. Well, we've got a fantastic teacher from Eastern right here,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Rosales. Mr. Rosales, any last words for our audience today before you head on to second hour and teach news?
Just have a good day, have a good week, have a good month.
Well, we want to thank you for coming, sir.
Thank you.
We appreciate you being here. Mr. Andrew Rosales.
Our next guest is our junior high student of the month, 6th grader Morgan Pavey.
Morgan, welcome to Coffee with the Principal. How are you this morning?
Good.
Good. Morgan, Mr. Rickert said you're in 6th grade, right?
Mm-hmm.
So have you been at Memphis throughout your entire career, from kindergarten through now 6th grade?
Yes.
What's the thing that you love most about Memphis?
That like everybody's helpful and that like
Everybody's helpful, everybody knows
Yeah.
everybody?
Mhm.
Let me ask you this. You've been here for quite some time now. Who has been your favorite teacher since you started at Memphis?
Okay, first quarter gym teacher.
Could it be Mr. Rickert? Is that what it is? He's trying to hint at you that he might be.
Yes.
He is?
Really?
Oh, wow.
Okay,
Mr.
I
Rickert,
was-
see?
For over at the junior high over here,
Yeah.
he would be my favorite like teacher. But over at the elementary, Mrs. Jones would have to be
Mrs.
my
Jones.
favorite teacher.
Why do you like Mrs. Jones so much?
Just the way she
Fun teacher to be around.
Fun
Yeah.
teacher? Yeah, that's cool. Okay. Let me ask you this, Morgan. What's your favorite subject here at Memphis?
math.
Wow. Mr. Rickert, we had a math favorite subject last time.
We did.
This is really hard to believe. We have so many students that love math here at Memphis. Why math?
I don't know. It just always came like really easy to me, and I just like it.
Wow, that's very interesting. Tell us something. At home, how many pets do you have? Do you have any pets? How many pets? What?
I have 4 outdoor cats.
4 outdoor cats. And do you take care of these cats, or do they kind of take care of themselves?
Me and my sisters take turns taking care of them.
And your sisters, you and your sisters, your family, very involved in something special here at Memphis. The trap team, correct?
Yes.
Tell me about that. What's going on with that?
We have a spring team and a fall team. Right now, the spring team, we have like 15 students that are signed up,
Wow.
and
When does the season start? It's coming up soon.
Yeah.
It's coming
Yeah.
up soon. Very soon, the trap team of Memphis. Stop in the office for more information on that as well. Morgan, any last words for today on the Coffee with the Principal? Anything you want to tell anybody? Any shout outs to any friends, anything like that? You're just excited to be here, aren't you? Well, we appreciate you being here. Our junior high student of the month of Memphis, Miss Morgan Pavey.
Next up is our high school student of the month, 9th grader Sophia Davis.
Sophia, welcome to Coffee with the Principal. How are you this morning?
I'm good.
Excellent. We're glad to have you here, Sophia. Tell me, how long have you been a student at Memphis Junior Senior High School?
Since the first grade.
Since
Not,
the first grade.
yeah, but since the first grade I moved. Came back.
So you were here in the first grade, moved, and came back. What grade did you come back?
The first grade.
Oh, you came back in the first grade. Okay, perfect. All right. So, what is the thing you like most here about Memphis?
Mock trial.
Mock trial.
Yeah, mock
Wow,
trials.
Mr. Rickert, you're
So
getting all the
I'm
accolades. So you work with Mr. Rickert on mock trial. Tell me a little something about mock trial. What is it? How does it work? When is it?
Okay, so mock trial is basically like you're mocking a trial. That's how I say it. It's like mock trial and it's like mock. Okay.
Okay.
Let me go from that.
So you're reenacting a trial.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we get a case in November, but I didn't join till like January.
January.
That's a big reason why I nominated Sophia as student of the month, because we had a situation in high school. There's always these types of situations will come up. It's like a one-day competition and something will come up and a student will say, oh, I just figured out I can't make it that day. Well, we had a couple of those have, things happened and things popped up on those dates. So we were kind of crunched for time to find a new person on the team. So a lot of the freshmen kind of sent out texts to all their friends. Sophia answered and said, I want to do this.
Wow.
So, and this was very late into the process too. So Sophia comes in, and this girl is outstanding. She comes in and asks so many questions and just wants to be the best she can be. I have a couple practices a week because I know that a lot of kids can't make every day. And she comes in every day and says, Mr. Rickard, I can't make it today, I'm so sorry. Well, that's why I have a couple a week. She's so dedicated to it, and it really showed in the scores. We had our Macomb County Regional this past weekend, and the weekend before, 2 weekends before, we had the St. Clair County tournament, and Sophia, each of the 12 mock trial students gets an individual score based on how they did, and Sophia was tied for the top score on our team.
Wow.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah.
So are you a prosecutor? Are you the
Oh,
defense?
I'm a
Are you
witness.
the witness?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But I would be on the prosecuting side, yeah.
The prosecuting side.
Yeah.
Is this something you're looking for in your career? Maybe become a lawyer, an attorney, a defense attorney? Something?
Well, it was when I was younger, and then it kind of just stays in the back. I mean, it could come,
Okay.
but it's still settled in the back.
What is it that you're looking forward to right now? What do you want to become when you graduate here from Memphis?
A GYN.
GYN. What's that?
I don't know the exact term. I did look it up, I forgot. But it's basically where I would take care of the lady for 9 months and then be, push.
Okay.
Yeah.
Delivering babies.
Yeah.
Something like that. Okay, well that's very interesting. Very interesting. Sophia, let me ask you this. What is your favorite subject here at Memphis? Favorite subject to study?
Oh, that's
Don't say math. Don't say math.
No, I mean, math is good, but that's not my favorite subject. I think history,
History.
or English.
Who's your favorite teacher at Memphis? Besides
Well,
Mr. Rickard.
Okay, Miss Lieber.
Miss Lieber?
Yeah.
Awesome. Why do you like Miss Lieber so much?
She's very funny, really just carefree.
Funny and carefree. Excellent. Beautiful. Sophia, your plans for after graduation are to get into the medical field.
Yeah.
You are in mock trial now. You're doing it all. We are very proud to have you here, and we're very happy you're our high school student of the month. Ladies and gentlemen, Sophia Davis.
Our next guest is our police liaison officer, Sean Gunnery.
Good morning, Officer Gunnery. Welcome back to Coffee with the Principal.
Good morning. Always a pleasure to be here with you.
You know, this is your second time on the show.
Yeah, sure is.
And a lot of things have happened since last month. We are moving into prom season.
Yes, we are.
What are the kind of things that you can see, that you usually see during prom time, maybe with our students out there on the roadways, things like this?
Well, everybody tends to get a little amped up. You know, it's that time of year. You know, spring is in the air.
Yes.
Everybody gets excited. They know it comes after spring, and that's the end of the school year. So I just want them to be careful. Put the phones down when the car's in motion. Wear your seatbelts, and absolutely no drinking whatsoever. It just leads to bad things, and yeah, we don't want to see anybody get injured.
Seatbelts. You mentioned seatbelts. Very important. What's the protocol these days? Is it legal to not wear a seatbelt? Is it illegal? I mean, how does that work out?
Yeah, anybody in the front seat, passenger or driver, is required to wear a seatbelt at all times when the car is moving. So, I mean, if we see it, well, we see it without a seatbelt, we're gonna make a stop, and you can be cited for that.
Yeah, and they say click it or ticket, right?
Yeah, the clicker ticket. That's been a phrase around for a long time. Yeah.
What about now? A lot of times, prom season, a lot of students in the same car. What about the rear seats? Students have to be in a seatbelt as well back there?
They actually do not. No, they're not required by law to be seatbelted in the rear seat. It's just the two front seats are required.
Okay, but you would recommend that they do put it.
Yeah, I'd recommend anybody in a moving vehicle. That's why they make seatbelts for, every spot in a car. They're there for a reason. So we'd hope you utilize them.
Officer Gunner, you were involved in a recent simulation here at school for the distracted driver simulation.
Yeah, a company out of Grand Rapids came in and put a full day simulation on for all our kids, and it just showed them the dangers of being distracted, whether it's the radio, the phone, even talking to somebody in the back seat, or you drop something, is that simple. One mistake, a couple seconds, and you're hitting a tree, or hitting another car, or hitting somebody walking across the street. You just can't be distracted, period, no matter what you're doing.
Doesn't pay to be distracted.
Exactly right.
Officer Gunnery, I got a couple questions for you, because we are now in reading month. I want to know your favorite book.
Oh my goodness.
I know this is a tough one. I know I threw you off guard at that one, but I do need to know.
Oh, see, I'm not a big book reader. Gosh, last time I read a book has been quite a while.
Well, let's talk about that, though. What was the last book you read? Do you remember?
I'm trying to remember. It was based off of a movie. Of course, I can't think of it right now.
Gone with the Wind?
Gone with the Wind, yeah.
That was it?
Yeah, I seen that original movie. So.
Well, you know what? I won't grill you too much in that one. Let's move on to my next and last question for you. We are moving into baseball season. All right. How do you think things are going to go for the Memphis varsity baseball and softball teams here this year? You've seen some of them warming up and practicing and working out in the weight room. What do you think for the teams this year?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of upside. I think they have some talented players. A couple guys can really throw some heat, you know. So hopefully they can gel together and put a good season together.
You think that the Memphis team has what it takes to beat the Detroit Tigers this year?
I'm thinking pretty much anybody can beat the Detroit Tigers this year.
That might be true.
Yeah.
That might be true.
Sarcasm. That's sarcasm.
I do still have faith in our Tigers. Yeah. Let's not waver on that. But a big thing coming up, Officer Gunnery, in the month of May 26th, I believe, is the PBIS trip to the Tiger game for our school. Will you be attending that trip? And if you are, who are you rooting for that day? Tigers and Indians, I believe, are the teams.
I'll stick with the Tigers.
Okay.
Why not, right? Yeah, the old English D, better days are ahead. So, you know, everybody starts out in first place. We'll see what happens.
That's true. And again, it looks promising for our Memphis boys softball and baseball teams. Officer Gunnery, I want to thank you for being here again.
Thanks for having me.
This month on Coffee with the Principal.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Officer Gunnery. So we've now reached the portion of our show where we take some audience participation. So I'm going to look around the crowd here, see if we have any questions out in the audience. Do we have anything out here today? Yes, sir.
What is your guys' favorite sport to play or watch?
Our favorite sport to play or watch? Well, Mr. Ricker, I'll let you go first on that one. Favorite sport to play, how about that?
That's a tough question. I played baseball for 11 years when I was a kid. I'm actually I'm an assistant coach for the JV now, starting today. We have tryouts.
Wow. Very nice.
Recently, I've started playing hockey, though, because I've loved watching hockey since I was a little kid. And I've also really developed a love for basketball, too.
Oh.
We got March Madness coming up. I've been, watching all of our Yellow Jacket games down there, and went to the Piston game on Saturday.
Wow.
And basketball's a great sport. Hockey, baseball, football's good, too.
Everything.
I just love sports.
So Mr. Ricker loves everything. For myself, I think it's baseball, but I also play basketball a lot. So it'll be one of those two, but I really like to watch football, including the XFL. I don't know why, but I just really like that new league. I think it's really cool. What do you think about that?
I like it a lot, yeah. My dad is really excited.
Oh, that's cool.
He loves it.
Maybe one day we'll have a Michigan team. If any of the audience remembers, probably not. Most of you don't remember the Michigan Panthers, but they were back in 1983. I'm not sure if some of you were even born then.
I wasn't born.
You weren't born. You weren't born either.
Over a decade later. Yeah.
Well, thank you for that question, sir. Appreciate it. Anybody else have any questions out there? Yes.
What is your favorite dessert?
What is my favorite dessert? I'm going to start there, Mr. Ricker. You think about that. I think you might have it in your mind, but for myself, I think the most, the dessert that I love the most is chocolate chip cookies. I made some last weekend. Actually, I didn't make them. My wife and kids made them. Amazing. I can eat those for lunch, breakfast, dinner. Doesn't matter. So mine will be chocolate chip cookies.
We have a secret family recipe.
Oh.
Very famous. All my friends, every time I bring cookies for lunch in high school, I have to bring enough for all of them.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm bringing you some.
Rich,
For me, it'd be pumpkin pie. I love pumpkin pie. I know it's only you only have it a certain time of year, but I just get extremely excited.
Spread. You use the whipped cream on there?
Oh yeah.
Cool Whip or the spray stuff?
Either one's fine, honestly.
Yeah, I agree.
Sometimes I'll eat Cool Whip straight.
Straight from the.
Yeah, which is probably a terrible idea. But
Probably. But, we do that, those kind of things, right? We do that. So those are our favorite desserts. Anybody else got a question out there? Yes.
What do you think? What do you think is inside the time capsule?
What do I think is inside our time capsule here at Memphis?
Yeah.
Is that what you're asking?
Yes.
I don't know. The time capsule was set years ago, long before I was here. Long before Mr. Ricker, you might not have been born yet.
I think it says like 2002.
2002. Okay, so you were born. Okay. I don't know what's in there, and it's set to be open in 2027.
Yeah.
I think it was 25 years.
25 years. So we'll find out in a couple more. We got 7 more years to find out. A lot of times, what they do in those time capsules, they'll put a yearbook. They might put a video. Things that are popular at the time, which in 2002 what could have been popular back then.
Well, the Red Wings won the Stanley Cup that year.
That's pretty big.
It was awesome. I remember that when I was 8, but that was a good year.
What about like bell bottoms, things like that? Were those instead?
No, that was way
It must have been before that.
way before. I mean, well, like frosted tips would probably. I don't know how you would do that. Like
Yes.
certain types of hair product in there.
I remember those. I didn't have those, but I remember those.
Yeah.
Did you have frosted tips? No.
I had around that time I had a mushroom cut. Those were the popular ones at the time.
Yeah, I had the bowl cut. I had the mullet for a while as well. The mullet was pretty popular in my day.
Somebody told me the mullet's making a comeback, so I'm thinking I might have to try that out.
You might try it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you gotta let it grow. You gotta let it fly.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Business in the front.
Business in the front, party in the back, is that what they say?
Party in the back.
Fun times, fun times. Well, that's all the mullet talk we can do today, I guess, folks. But before we do leave, is there any other questions out here in the audience today? Well, I do appreciate everyone being here for a coffee with the principal. On behalf of my co-host, Mr. Adam Rickert, we wish you a great week, and we'll see you next month on Coffee with the Principal.